I don't want to be the person that had to go up to Yan and just say, hey, can you go and give the trophy back, please?
I don't know if you'd want to give it back, but for those unaware, that was Yan from Furia. Furia won it last year, so returning the trophy back to its spot for, well, hopefully
He says,
for them
see
to
you
win
in
it back.
4 days.
That'd be pretty. If he sort of like held up, held up at 4 or something, and said, "I'll be back,"
Yeah, I
sort of
believe
gave
him.
it a
I
little tap.
absolutely would believe him. I mean, they
That's
did
all
it last year.
confidence.
We'll see very soon whether or not they can do it again. But for now, CJ, it is time to focus on our first match of the day. Twisted Minds looking to take on the Falcons. I mean, not Falcons. Oh my goodness. I mean, maybe later on. Maybe later on. But Elevate will be starting this one off. And the main questions that we are having right now is who's going to take what game mode for Elevate? But it is also possible with the changes to the format that you can take this just on being the better threes team. So whilst 1s and 2s is important, if we go the whole way to 5, you will be playing 3 threes matches.
Yeah, it does put a lot of pressure on winning all of those games, though, which is why the 1v1s and 2s in between are so important. But I mean, if you can get off to a good start, that could really be, it could be huge. Having said that, though, if you're just really good at ones, Shogun, even if you drop that first game, you say let's have the ones, and then all of a sudden, you tie the series at 1-1. So again, I feel like it is such an advantage to have that little 1v1, I guess, advantage.
It's a great timeout for you because you can just go on in and, everyone else can just relax, get themselves reset going into the next game mode. On the opposite side of that, though, could you imagine getting tilted in a game of 1s and then having to be on the comms for a game of 3s?
It's actually so... No, can I talk about this? Hang on. It is so weird, though, because when we played, right, FIFA will play 1s, and for those watching at home, what will happen is they'll be the only 2 guys in the lobby. So you'll be leaving. You'll just be in free play practicing. So you're kind of leaning over watching the game from whoever's playing the 1v1's perspective. But also you don't want to get in their way. You want them to lock in. You don't want to come for them, but you're sort of cheering for them behind them, watching from their monitor. It is a weird sort of experience. I guess, as you said, you don't have control. You're still playing for your team, but you're not the one playing in that particular game. So I mean, it's a very unique experience when you're up there on that stage, knowing that your teammate has, it could be all on the line, if you lose, you're out, and you're just watching, you're sitting in free play while he's in the 1s.
Yeah, I mean, how would you prefer it? Because I know it gives me the kind of fighting game vibes at that point, and there's a lot of people in fighting games that they either want the crowd around them, getting loud, hyping them up, or would you want everyone to be like silent near you? Do not talk to me, do not coach me, do not give me anything.
I think I need someone to hype me up. I'd love to just get everyone around and celebrate each goal. I think that's what it's all about. But some players really do like to lock in, and as you said, it has that. I don't know. The 1v1s are special, but knowing that you're not just playing for yourself, you're playing for your team. I feel like that has just so much more weight to it and so much more pressure on that person. As you said, it could be the deciding match. Lose and you're out, and it's all on your shoulders.
I mean, we see what, just online pressure to win a show match can do to some players. They may crumble. Imagine not doing it just for yourself, but obviously for your teammates as well. So going into this, I think roads to victory here. Twisted Minds should have advantages in 1s and 2s. Elevate, if they are going to win this, I think you have to take every single 3s game. And it's going to be difficult, but I can't see any other way through.
Yep, maybe 2s. I can see them winning 2s. Kami knows what he needs to do. We did it last year. We took down a couple of meaner sides in the 2v2. So it's possible, but as you said, I think the 1s is just, it's a lock for Twisted Minds. And I mean, the 3s, they probably should win as well, seeing what they did at the World Championships, almost going 3-0 through the Swiss stage, through the wild card. So I mean, they're a great 3s team as well. Elevate, they've got their work cut out for them. It's not the best first round matchup, but anything's possible. It's a new day. It's a new tournament.
I'm just looking at chat at the moment. 20,000 points put towards Elevate, 140,000 put towards Twisted Minds. So wow. Yeah, very, very one-sided regarding who people are expecting to make their way through. For those of you just joining us, we'll be starting off with 3s, and then whoever loses gets to choose either a 2v2 or a 1v1, back to 3s, and then whatever the game mode that was not selected is played for game number 4, and then 3s again if game 5 is required. We will continuously be explaining this, CJ, as we go through the tournament, just waiting for the teams
importantly, Shogun, importantly with that as well, is that you can double up. So it's not as if you play the 1s, you can't play the 2s. You can play both game modes. So there could be one player that only plays threes, because the 1v1 player could also play in the twos format. So it's not as if, you use your star player in the ones and you lose them in the twos. You can certainly just have the one player dedicated to threes, but it could mean that you cool down. You lose the vibe. You're out of the series while everyone does the ones and twos. There's so much. I don't know. There's so many mind games you can play. The mental side of this tournament is just on another level. That's why I love it.
It's difficult. There's going to be one player on each team that you sort of have to lock in and say, that's our ace. Like, that's the one we need to keep playing as much as we possibly can and keep them warm. But then again, if things are going bad, maybe you pull them out and you need your ace to reset. So it's a lot going on here. A lot for the coaches, I feel, to try and figure out. This is probably a format that really requires them to gauge how their team is feeling, what they're looking like, and how they're performing on the field. And once we've got our teams locked in, we'll start getting the answers to some of these questions.
Yeah, you need to do a little bit of a heat check. And it'll be interesting to see game one. I know it's the threes format, but we'll be looking to see who's you can sort of get a vibe which individuals are really feeling it. And then that might play a factor as to who's going to lock in for the ones or the twos based on whatever the losing team chooses. But, I mean, well, we'll just have to wait and see. I'm sure we'll be getting underway very, very shortly.
Yes, it certainly will be. So, looks like the teams have declared that they are ready to go. Vert, if you are, you need to look at your monitor. I mean, maybe he's giving it the side glance. But once we get ourselves going, it will be all up to Elevate, I feel, to take the
Senzo
fight.
looks bored.
He's already expecting to win. He
giving a
knows
little
what
smile.
he's maybe looking beyond his opponents.
Yeah, well, you're sort of sitting. I don't believe you're sitting across from each other. I'm just trying to gauge a setup. You're sort of sitting
Is
side
it
by
side or is it facing?
I don't think they're facing each other. I think they're sort of across. So they might just be trying to gauge. Senzo's trying to gauge what the Elevate boys are doing. Perhaps some stalling tactics. As we said, there's a lot of mental warfare. I know that we even saw on First Touch, T-Bates talking about Rise playing that mental game when there's no crowd, when you're just sort of in the same studio as the other team. You can certainly go a little bit crazy with the comms and really play the mind games with the other team if you can, get in their heads with a bit of the voice.
Yep, and that's one of those things that has changed
Here we go.
an awful lot as we do get ourselves into game number one. Twisted Minds against Elevate. Let's go, CJ.
It's very green as well, just kicking off, which I don't mind, actually. Twisted Minds rocking the very light green, and that might just be the first goal straight away. SMW, it's only taken 17 seconds.
A great start there from Twisted Minds. Just looking that one around, realize can't get over to him. And Elevate. Again, I feel have to win this one. They really do have to win this one, and that's the worst possible start for them.
Yeah, you want to really, try and put some scoreboard pressure on Twisted Minds, but this Twisted Minds starting off strong early, but, Kami as well. The mech's not quite warm, Kami. With a little bit of an early whiff. SMW, though, they're looking locked, and the pre-jump's coming through. It's a double fake out as well. So much pressure already from Twisted Minds. They're looking pretty confident, Shogun.
Yep, as we mentioned earlier on, it's very important as well for Twisted Minds to have a good tournament. I feel like it's important for all of MENA, not just because it is a home tournament, but because they just want to keep building on that momentum. It felt like other regions were taking their spot as the next region up.
Yeah.
Did well at Worlds, have got the shot to deal with, and then the follow-up from Virtuoso is a bit late. I realized under a decent amount of pressure, and Vert is still there.
I like this. Kami downfield this time. Vert off the ceiling as well. That's great confidence from Elevate, but they need to try and find a goal as well. And I mean, you raise a great point about Twisted Minds in that. I mean, MENA has just been put on the map, but it's one thing to sort of have that breakout tournament. It's another thing to stay there. And I mean, if they can come off a really strong World Championship performance and back it up with Gamers8 as well, I mean, the sky's the limit for next season of the RLCS as well.
Virtuoso already up. Vert looks very confident in himself, and he's got the pass to Kami. Who is this Virtuoso? This is a brand new player.
I love it. And the defense, to Twisted Minds' credit, is Really hanging in there, but Vert again downfield. So much confidence. This is what can happen
Going
after.
off the ceiling.
It just feels like the pressure has been released off Worlds where everything's, so much on the line. Obviously, this tournament, everyone wants to do well, but it just seems like they're really having fun at the moment. It hasn't led to a goal just yet, but this is good signs for Elevate.
I mean, you'd rather this. It's one of those things where, maybe either decision isn't necessarily going to get you the win, but we want to see an aggressive Elevate. And that's definitely what we've got. We've got another demo. Oh, I thought he was going to leave it, but that one was red. And now SMW, the goal scorer for the first one, the same position. Try to find a second. Kami not able to fake out Venom. An opportunity. Can they find the bump? Oh, not too far off.
We saw that coming, but they just, again, can't find that finishing touch or that finishing demo. Here we go again, Vert downfield, still with boost. This could be a great chance. As Realize stealing boost again. Twisted Mind's having to play a lot of defense. It feels like they're regional brothers in Rule 1. They're taking a leaf out of their books, but a poor touch from Virtuoso is all Twisted Mind's need.
Oh, he was doing so good. And now it's all gone horribly, horribly wrong. Virtuoso too far up, too confident, and too out of position, and now finds himself 2-0 down.
Sometimes that confidence can come back to bite you in the kick-off goal. 3-0.
Well, we wanted to let him cook, and they got burnt.
Big time there. I mean, Elevate, they worked so hard for 2 minutes, really off that, conceding a goal in 17 seconds. They worked so hard, but one whiff can be all it makes, and all that matters, should I say, is this is what Twisted Minds do. They're just such a solid team. If you're going to make mistakes, they're going to capitalize.
Kami now off the wall. Only 90 seconds left to play with here, and Twisted Minds, despite having to play a lot of defense, have got themselves that 3-goal lead. Elevate letting in a couple of very weak goals. One kickoff, one where Vert caught himself out. And you can even maybe make the argument for the first goal that shouldn't have been allowed that level of space for SMW, so Elevate will be disappointed in themselves. Zenzo now up, reset, gained, goes for a second.
Don't.
Even you, I feel like he still had the reset as he went for another reset.
He did. He was just showing off, and he had a little bit more boost. That would have been a goal there. I mean, Senzo stepping up. We look at SMW as really the MVP of this side back at the World Championships, but that's not a bad pinch as well. Elevate really showing up, but as you said, just a few mistakes have proved costly.
Yeah, the pinch was a decent idea. I feel like the pinch is also completely useless when you already know everyone is back. At that point, you actually might as well just take it up the wall and try and at least get a challenge for yourself. Hey, it has been sort of the way Elevate have taken to this first game. They are trying things. Hasn't worked, but they tried stuff.
We love people trying as well, and right now they're going to have to try and work out who's going to be going into the 2v2 Shogun, because with 18 seconds left...
You locking it in, there's no way they pick ones.
There is a 0 chance that they pick 1v1s. They would, I don't know, they're basically forfeiting if they pick ones off this next game. So I'm excited to see who they pick, because it's a very balanced team for twos. So let's see where they go.
I would send Vert in. He had a mistake, but he's cooking. He's doing something.
He is. He's very active. The question
realize
is,
you left the water too far away from you, mate. There we go.
Does he partner with Realizes? LBP saying that is not your water bottle. That is LBP's. He's already drunk 2/3 of it as well. I mean, the hydration is a huge factor for Elevate. Maybe that can play into account.
I'm trying to figure out here. All right, who's still? Realize looks like he's ready to play.
There's a lot of H2O on the desk, isn't there?
There is.
There's a serious amount of water
3 bottles. Oh my goodness, that's 4.
That is a lot. They are really working with something there, but definitely twos. LVP's looking. He's looking at Kami. They're working out who's going to be jumping in, who's going to be jumping out. The fingers are getting pointed. I'm going to take a guess. I'm going to say it's Kami, and I think it's Kami and Realize.
From what I was seeing there, I think it's Kami Realize as well. I'm not too sure.
I don't know if I like it.
I think it looks like they've locked that in already going into this, but I would like to have seen Vert given a shot.
Oh, it is Realize and Vert confirmed.
Ooh.
I've just had confirmation from the admin. So we're going to have Venom and SMW on Twisted Minds taking on Realize and Vert. Kami sitting out of this one, although not losing a single twos match last year at Gamers8. I mean, this is a massive call.
What you're saying is Kami is preparing for the ones game that he's definitely going to win.
He's not playing. If Kami's playing ones,
you have no faith in Kami at all on this.
There's just no way that he is playing ones at all. But this is a massive matchup. Venom and SMW are they're nasty on the sticks. I mean, this is going to be tough. But realizing Vert, if Vert can, yeah,
like yeah, it's just that.
That's it. That's literally it. But Vert has a little bit of the demo, the physicality about him, and that's what I love.
Yeah, well, he's going to have to find some of those demos because every time he goes for it, he leaves his teammate 1v1, and SMW is just far too quick.
Yeah, SMW gets a beat over the top of Vert. Realize haven't rotated back yet. That's too much aggression. That is a 3v3 play, but it's twos.
And it is 1-0 to Twisted Minds in not only the game, but the series overall. We'll get that added shortly. There's Venom off the ceiling, goes for the shot. It's hit the crossbar. Follow-up is in. And this is what we were afraid of.
This is serious trouble. If the twos aren't competitive, I think the ones aren't going to be either. But SMW, great speed. Venom just cooking up top, off the ceiling. No one back again from Elevate. He's not reaching the speed. It's only been 30 seconds.
3-0. This is domination. My goodness.
What has happened? Vert's flipped for the... Again, it's not threes. Vert is playing this like it's a 3v3. He's going for the boost steal, you know, the resource gather simulator. Someone telling me he has to hit the ball. He doesn't have a third man.
Oh, all right. Well, Vert did have to go for the kickoff here, and now he's got a chance off the wall, but this game might already be too far gone. Vert now taking his time, and that was too much time taken overall. SMW meets him. Twisted Minds are just a step above when it comes to the pace. Long clear from Vert, and he's actually got there first off the backboard. Who's going to be first to it? Oh, Virtuoso not far off.
Glimpses. He shows, doesn't he? But oh, this could be a mistake. SMW, you know, does just get back to it again. Elevate, showing some presence. Still trying to get their first goal on the board. They need their first goal of the entire series. They weren't able to find anything, and that demo could be massive. It's just open. Oh, he's
that's so good.
Fake. I love it.
Well, we said to let him cook. The cookies are out of the oven. 99% of them are burnt, but there's one pristine one, CJ.
Well, he certainly burnt Venom there with that fake. Had him going all the wrong way. Broke his ankles. And they do get one back. There's a lot of time. Twos isn't threes as well. There's more chances to score. So much more space on the field. And here's Vert again with a great controlling touch. Does send Venom to the ball, but they've got possession back. Could be a 2-on-1. Where is Realize? He has to be coming through.
Where is Realize?
It's just Vert by himself. Where is Realize? Venom, great clear.
It looks like Realize just expected Vert was going to lose that ball at some point. He was already playing defense. I wouldn't necessarily disagree if it was a tied game, but you need to get those goal back. Venom off the ceiling. Great read of that bounce, and Realize has to go early. I mean, it is now all about being as quick as possible. Pre-jump what you can. Almost found the bump. Realize plays to the corner. He knows that he's got to get his teammates some time. That's the interesting bit that you have to figure out in these twos game is actually being that second man. It is always attack or buy time, and it's a very difficult decision to make in a very short span.
Yeah, it's a bit of that seesawing battle with your mind. Do you go forward? Do you play the aggression? But I mean, Twisted Minds have given a few windows of opportunity there. I realized could have found a pass before to Vert, went for the solo play instead. I'd love to see a bit more teamwork coming through from Elevate. That's what they could have over this Twisted Minds lineup. You'd have to think Twisted Minds have the mechanics, the individual ability, but can Elevate bring together that teamwork? Or can they just let another open net? Oh!
Well, Vert realized that he was about to own goal it. Tried to matrix out of the way. He did exactly that. but instead of own goaling it, it was just merely a regular goal.
Too scared of own goaling, but couldn't get anything on the ball either. And I mean, 4-1 now. It's starting to look a little bit nasty. Is if they lose this, this is match point. It is only a best of 5, all of the group stage, so probably the worst possible start from Elevate. But there's still 2 minutes left.
And there's been, as you mentioned earlier on, glimpses. Vert's got the pass. Realize he needs to start going now. I understand it's difficult to get that confidence. The game is over unless they start going, oh, Realize is in such a horrid spot. 2v1, no way of coming out of that one on top.
Big trouble. I mean, Phantom just gets the flip, fakes it. Well, flip reset, but fakes it and just sends himself straight at Realize, who's, again, just on an island. I mean, this happens so often in this twos game so far, where Elevate Shogun are just left in these 1-on-2 situations, and, well, 6-1. Looking ugly.
It's over. It's completely over in this one. And now, just to paint the scene for you, with this rule set, Elevate now needs to win the threes game. They need to win a ones game, and then they need to win a threes game.
Yeah, I hope Kami is just in slow-mo right now as Vert does get one back. I really hope his free play session is going incredibly well, because they really need him in that threes and maybe the ones. We don't really know, but first of all, they need to start getting some momentum. There's still a minute 33. They're only 4 goals down. It is possible.
I love some of the other game modes. You can say the sentence, it's only 4 goals down. And it actually is somewhat believable. You know, it is possible in twos for that to happen. It's unlikely. As Venom drops it back down, Realize controls the ball. He's challenged early. Now, SMW looking for his teammate. They're trying to go free play mode. I'm not entirely sure. Was that a pinch attempt? I think it might have been.
I absolutely don't mind it. This Venom gets another one to the corner. And I mean, they are just having fun with it. They know it's 4 goals. I'm trying to make it believable, but Twisted Minds are so confident. They don't think that there's
I've pulled a Johnny boy here. I'm calling this one early.
I don't think there's any chance, because the Musty's coming through on the line. So many 50s. Huge win. This could be a goal if they get the bump. No, another chance, but Venom's just so good on the line. Follow up though. 3 goals, 39 seconds. Doesn't sound great, but there's a chance.
I mean, Venom's going to be very disappointed with that save.
Yeah.
That is the one spot. I mean, there's 2 places that ball needs to not go. One is in your net. He's at least managed to cover that bit. The second one was exactly where it ended up finishing. Oh, we got another one off the kickoff. Oh, I'm used to like relying on Johnny Boy for kickoffs. So let's hear your Johnny impression here, CJ.
Yeah. So what happened there? Realize just went the complete wrong direction. Decided to cheat up hard right. Vert trying to kill it right, but it seemed like Twisted Minds countered it, pushing it to the opposite side. And I mean, I respect the all or nothing play, Shogun, in this sort of time, but they just didn't execute the kickoff.
I mean, I feel like a lot of them have been like just nothing plays. They're not aggressive enough. They're not willing to commit, and we've seen so often that the second man is just no man's land. There's not defending anything. They're not fake challenging. They're certainly not going for the shot. So just cohesion issues, I feel, for Elevate in the twos game. And Twisted Minds might even be a little bit disappointed that it was 7-3. They might have felt like they could have done better than this. But they will have a chance to better their threes result, because that is the next game mode.
I mean, they're just so much more active on the pitch. You watch how they play. They're both always involved in the play at the same time. Whereas then you look at Elevate trying to attack, and it's just, you know, Vert going, realizes all the way back. I'm not sure if he's grabbing both corner boosts, and then it's sort of a role reversal, and then one of them overcommits 2-on-1. Whereas, I mean, the teamwork on display, it just shows that Twisted Minds know how to play 2v2. They're both on the ball. They're backing each other up. They're active on the pitch, looking for the bums, grabbing the boost. And they just, I don't know, they're just so well-rounded as a team. And we'll probably see that in the threes right now.
So Kami now gets to rejoin his team for the 3v3 game. And again, I will say it. The next match is already locked in. If we do go all the way to 5, it'll be 3s, then 1s, then 3s again for the tiebreaker. But as you can see from Twisted Minds, they seem pretty confident in themselves that they can get this done in the 3s game. And after what we saw in game number 1, there's very little reason to doubt them.
I have just so much confidence in Twisted Minds. I mean, the only time we saw them really falter was in that 3rd round at the World Championships in the wild card. They came up against Falcons and unfortunately it took the first ever reverse sweep in best of 7 history. But outside of that, they were pretty flawless going through and almost 4-0'd Falcons, who some are saying is, you know, equal favourites or one of the favourites here at Gamers8. So, I mean, they are a seriously good side, and as we said, you have to be really on your game to beat them. Unfortunately, what we've seen so far, Shogun, is that Elevate haven't quite been on their game, but I'll tell you what, that first 7 seconds that I didn't see was electric. Realize off the sidewall flip reset, that's what we like.
I'm not saying that I'm a superstitious person. However, Elevate have won matches every single time we haven't been watching them.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the same
You're
spot.
Certainly.
Oh, wait a minute.
A little stitious.
Wait a minute.
The own goal. Hang on. Twisted Minds have gone to sleep.
I don't know what they're up to.
What was that?
What is going on, Twisted Minds?
Senzo just...
Wait, they're up the wall again. It's the golden wall. Just get Elevate to that wall and they are guaranteed to score.
This is the one. Their game plan, if we can get that ball on the right wall, anything is possible.
I think CJ, this game's over. Let's start thinking about the ones already. Let's Fury Craft.
They found the win condition, and it is the right side of the pitch. It is just, it suits.
This is the cursed side of the field. No, okay, Kami, we've seen that. That wasn't a great touch. We need to get you on the other side. Oh, no.
That's what happens. Do not play the left side of the field, Elevate. We've spoken about this.
Yeah, this immediately. Venom far too quick. Virtuoso tried to pre-jump the save. Realized as soon as he jumped that ball was going right behind him. And Twisted Minds back into this game. CJ. Firstly, you know we're friends, right? But I'm going to ruin your day a little bit. I don't even know if this ruins your day anymore. Ground Zero, 2-0 down in their series against Oxygen.
Oh, can you entice me with the game scores if you can look those up? And that
I can't. I can tell you the
happier.
game 3 game score right now, which is 1-0 to Oxygen. So...
Okay. Well, as long as it's close, but game 1 was 4-1, so... No, it's look, it's round 1. It's a long tournament. It's group stage.
It's double elim, so they're not out.
They're not out of it, and either are Elevate. Even in this series, I mean, what happened at the start? Senzo joined the team momentarily. They found the right wall was just their lord and savior, and they're ready to go.
Oh, now we're over on the opposite sides, the Twisted Minds side of the field, and it's all right. This is 100% happening right now. Every single time we are on this right-hand side, Twisted Minds score. Elevate need to just shift it to the opposite.
Yeah, let's keep track of this this whole side of the field thing. We might have just discovered something that no coach or analyst in Rocket League history has worked out, but...
I want a coach out there that is just like completely superstitious. Like that's all that they work from.
There's a right side again. It's a great shot on net. I mean, it's just proving so effective for Elevate. Twisted Minds seemingly not knowing how to defend from that side of the pitch. They're pinching it over to that side. And this is the danger side. Kami off the side. Pass across. Oh my goodness. Counter attack. Kami, great save. Elevate again, almost scoring from the right side of the pitch.
Oh, through the middle. Now, ooh, that's no, I don't agree with this, Elevate. Ugh. That's the wrong side of the field. That's right, SMW. Just daring anybody to come and meet him. And, well, he's just been whacked into. And that has actually caught Elevate out. Where was the third man?
Well, might have helped that one through. Realised not quite ready for that one. And Twisted Minds, I mean, they gave them too early, but they scored 3 pretty quick as well.
Off the wall. Virtuoso. It's going to be difficult to really create much from there, and he realizes it. Tries to find the setup, and actually that's worked quite well, but again, far too high. Nobody on Elevate really willing to go and meet it. Is Kami. Oh, it's gone far again. Elevate's third man positioning. It's really playing it risky.
Too aggressive. And another shot.
What a save.
Elevate getting a team pinch for the clear, but just not expecting the shot target. And as you said, getting caught out time and time again. Another clear down. Just handed straight to Senzo, who's straight up in the air and straight over the top. Up is coming through another open net. Twisted Minds a minute away from a sweep in round one.
So it started so very well. Maybe if we take the camera away from them, Elevate might go ahead and win. You know, that's my other theory here. Is that it was a buff from that. But it does seem like the right-hand side has betrayed them. They need a couple of goals. They need one early. There's the shot. What a save. Full. Kami, what a read.
It felt like he was up before they even made the save there. Just so ready. But it's the 53. Realised forced a bad touch again. That sidewall plaguing Twisted Minds. Venom in the last game, and this time Senzo. But what a read from Kami. They're back.
Off the wall. They need to get there early. Realize will actually be a passing option, but he's so low on boost that didn't really have the choice. Virtuoso's also only on 12, but he's faked out and then got wiped out, and then there's the pass back. Demos. Virtuoso goes up, tries to get the challenge. They're going to go the whole way. Realize has to be incredibly quick. It's a good block as well, but realize the only one with any boost on this team has to get the ball. He has. And it's played to the corner.
They need to really start to get to work here. There's only a minute. And if they want any chance of staying in this upper bracket of Group B, it's time to do something. Who's under it. It has actually worked out. He's going to be able to steal the boost as well. This is awesome right now for Elevate. Off the side, one more. Locked out again. Twisted Minds. Just the defense holding strong, but 38 seconds. Elevate. It's now or never, Shogun.
Oh, off the back, realize in, has to take the shot. And that is just pushed into the crossbar. Virtuoso to himself off the backboard. Couldn't find anything, and they need to keep that ball on the opposite side of the field. It hasn't happened. Virtuoso aiming for demos. Can't, oh, he's got one. That might lead away through. Kami's chasing, looks for another demo, and he's got it. Virtuoso went full endpoint mode.
They just wore them down like 40 seconds, and they get the reward as well. Realize with the fantastic ground pinch, 15 seconds left. Can Elevate do it? It was a fantastic start to game 3. But they've got to close it out. They've got all the time now. They can full time. Don't need to do it in regulation, or do they? More bumps coming through.
Well, Elevate have gone all out on the bumps and demos, and it is working. But now they need to claim the win if they want to utilize this in game 5. They've got to get a goal here. They've got to somehow win the ones game. It is step by step. Realize. Trying to keep the ball alive. And Vert is just going to let that one drop down.
Here we go. We've got overtime. Finally, a close match. Elevate have woken up into this one. Just realize. Very awkward there, but manages to get it to the side. Another shot on target. Realize dives across. Twisted Minds with a great chance, but there's a huge clear from Kami. That's what they need. It's a big whiff, but Senzo just ready somehow.
Oh, and the bump on Realize means Virtuoso, who's also been bumped. Twisted Mind upset at the amount of demos that were sent their way. Now off the read. Virtuoso sets up for the shot. That is just not run onto. Turned up far too early. And ends up skying it. Ooh, good block from Venom, but nobody following up. Kami's waiting. He's got some time. Just didn't really have the boost. He was on 0 that entire way. Now another passing play. Oh, no one's around.
Oh, Kami had to wait as well because SMW just so fast to the ball. Senzo is again meets him for the follow-up. This could be a great chance. No, SMW not quite there. Just the counter now. Look at Elevate, so aggressive, but almost getting caught out. Realize has to do well on the backboard. It's a great touch. It's a fantastic touch, but it's on net. Kami dives off the post, lands on the post, but gets it out.
Twisted Minds are doing really well in the scrambles, and they're looking for another bump. Well, it was the bumps that got Elevate back into the game, and it's the bumps that have removed them from the series. Twisted Minds move on in the upper bracket.
Oh, Elevate put up a fight, but Twisted Minds, they were the favourites, the ones that we predicted to make it through, and they've done well there in the first round. I mean, they didn't really put a foot wrong. They let Elevate in game 3, granted, but outside of that, it was pretty one-way traffic there for Twisted Minds. It was probably the expected result, as we said, and Elevate, they tried to do some things, Shogun. That was kind of the memo of the first couple of games.
That's the best way to describe it. They tried, and when you do try things, those things can go wrong. And they did on a few occasions, but they had ideas, and I think that's a very good way to build up. Especially, I like what Vert was doing. Vert had probably the biggest mistakes that series, but also had the biggest high points that series. So
it was a
mixed
roller
bag.
coaster. A roller coaster of a game.
I got some good news for you. What do you want, the good news or the bad news?
Bad news.
Okay, Auction are 3-1 up in
okay,
game 4, which leads to my good news, which is Ground Zero got game number 3 their way. So it is a 1v1 between Jorius and Super Lucky.
Oh, well, that's probably where OCE going to fall down, is the 1v1. So good to them. Good on them for getting that threes game. Could do them a world of confidence. As we said, it is groups, but it is double elims, so they'll still be alive. They'll just drop down to that lower bracket.
Yep, and it was a very, very dominant performance over here by Twisted Minds, who might have even felt like they should have done better throughout all of this. But they'll be happy with the victory, and we'll see more Gamers 8 after this break.